Many landlords don't know how to run a landlord business efficiently. That used to be me. Tune in today as I teach you the top 3 tricks to stay organized for tax time. I'll also throw in a common mistake made by landlords that's costing you thousands of dollars. Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia Ho, and I'm a financial landlord consultant. I work with landlords solely to help them save money, reduce the taxes that they pay, and cut the interest that they pay the banks. If you love the weekly training, please subscribe, like, love, comment below to encourage me to make more of these trainings. Over the last 25 years as a landlord, I think I finally learned some ways to make my life easier. I'm going to share them with you today. So, first thing, have a dedicated account for your rental properties. Don't mix it with your personal accounts. So, for example, I've seen so many different ways that landlords run their business, and the one that I find most boggling and confusing is when your mortgage payments and your condo fees and your property taxes come out of your household account, where you have your own personal mortgages, your own personal expenses, your own income that comes in. That does not make sense. Don't do it that way. So you know how you have a household account where your T4 income, your paycheck goes into, and then your own personal mortgage, expenses for your property, expenses for the kids, paying off your credit card bills, paying your utilities. Don't use that account for your landlord business. Have a separate account. Have a separate account where your rental income goes in and all the expenses for that rental property goes out. There's a very, very clear distinction, because when it comes down to tax time, it's so much easier, right? You just go, hey, accountant, here's 12 months worth of bank statements. This is anything coming in is always rental income, and anything go out is always expenses for the rental property, such as your mortgage payments, your property taxes, condo fees, insurance, utilities, any kind of repairs. All right, so that's tip number 1. Tip number 2. Who receives rental income via email transfers? In the past, as a landlord, I always got checks every single month. But now more and more tenants are saying, hey, can I email transfer you the money? At first, I didn't like it. I like to have the physical check. But as times are changing, people are like, hey, I want to do email transfers instead. I don't have checks. So what do you do with email transfers? Well, the first thing I do is I do not ever have my tenant have my personal email address. That's for me, my friends to send me money, for me to send money out to my to whoever I need to for email transfer. I have a dedicated email specifically to run my landlord business. So for my email, it's rental.sylvia@gmail.com, and that's the only email that my tenants use. All right. So have a dedicated email address for the email transfers. So whenever a tenant emails you, all the communication is in one email address. It makes it nice and simple to look back on communication between you and your tenant. That's the first thing. The second thing, email transfers. Oh my goodness. Okay, I do email transfers manually. I do not have them auto deposit, and the reason is because I'm very particular about this, because I like to stay organized. I have some tenants that are really eager to pay me my rent, but rent is due on the first of the month, but they may get paid on the 20th, right? So on the 21st, they'll send me an email transfer right away. And if you set up automatic email deposits, it will get deposited on the 20th. And then now I'll start getting confused. I was like, wait, hold on for a second. Did this tenant pay me for is this money that they gave me, is it for November or is it for December? I get confused, right? And then I have to look back. So I never set up auto deposit. I always, if the tenants want to send me the money early, then that's fine, no problem. But I'll always deposit on the first of the month, right? And I'll always deposit in a very specific order. So if you're going to be a landlord accepting email transfers, make a dedicated email, okay? A dedicated email that only your tenants know. Second thing, when you get email transfers from tenants, don't set up auto deposit. Instead, do it as a manual deposit, because it'll be very, very clear who sent you money and who hasn't sent you money. And then the third thing that I do is I only deposit my rental income on the first, even if the tenant pays me earlier. And again, it's because I want to keep track. When you have 7 properties, you start losing track. And when it's upper unit, lower unit, you start losing track who's paid you and who hasn't paid you, right? So tip number 2, email transfers. Have a dedicated email address. Do not do automated deposits. Do manual deposits. And for me, I like to deposit all my money always on the first of the month. And then the next tip is if you are a landlord and you've been blessed with multiple properties, I always deposit the rental income in order. So I'll have an order in my head. So in my head, it goes the houses that I've owned the longest, right? So I'll do my Richmond Hill property, and then my North York property, and then my West End condos, and then my East End condo, and then my Calgary property. So that's how I always deposit my rental income, so that when I see the bank statements, it's very, very clear and nice and easy for tax time. All right, so number 3. Have you ever had a tenant call you and it's like, hey, Sylvia, the shower bar fell off of the wall and I need you to buy me a new shower bar because it's broken. Or Sylvia, I need a new toilet seat because it's broken. Or basically you have to do a repair and you have to go out to Home Depot and you have to go buy something. Please, my friends, don't use your credit card that you use for all your personal stuff. Have a dedicated credit card specifically for your rental properties. And then by doing it that way, at the end of the year when you come to do your taxes, you literally just give them one credit card bill and anything on there has to do with your rental properties. It makes it so much easier for you during tax time. Because I used to mix it with my personal, and then every single month I had to go line by line by line. Like, was this for the kids? Was this for the rental? What was this for? I don't remember, right? So have a dedicated credit card specifically to run your landlord business. And it makes life much, much easier for you. Whether you know it or not, you're running a business. You're running a landlord business. So treat it as such. All right, here's the last tip that I'm going to give you today. And this tip probably is costing many landlords thousands of dollars without them even knowing about it. I've spoken to many landlords over the last month, and there's a common trend that I'm seeing, and I'm like, oh, please stop doing this. I had a landlord do a lump sum payment against their rental property so that they can bring down the monthly payments so that their cash flow is better. Oh my goodness, please stop doing that. Do not do that. If you have an extra 20 grand, please don't dump it towards the rental property. Take that 20 grand and dump it towards your personal mortgage instead. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use a secured line of credit to pay for all the rental expenses on your rental property. And that will help you with your cash flow. So please, my friends, don't do lump sum payments against your rental property. If you have extra cash, take that money, put it towards your primary home, and then use a line of credit to pay for the rental expenses, and that will help your cash flow. By doing a lump sum payment towards your rental property, what that means is, first of all, you used after-tax dollars to pay down your mortgage. That is a mortgage that is tax deductible. So when you put 20 grand towards your rental property, now you're paying less interest. And therefore, when you go do your taxes, you're going to have less write-offs. And when you have less write-offs on your T776, it means you end up paying more taxes. So this mistake is costing landlords thousands and thousands of dollars. So please stop doing that. Take the money, put it towards your primary home, and to help your cash flow, use your line of credit to pay for all the rental expenses. And that, my friend, that last tip there, to use a line of credit, pay for all the rental expenses, is rental cash damming. I'm a rental cash damming specialist. I'm a financial landlord consultant, and I help landlords save money, save taxes, and save interest paid to the banks by teaching you a specific strategy called rental cash damming. Rental cash damming is a approved strategy by CRA. And it basically gets CRA to pay you to be a landlord. You're like, what? What do you mean? Say that again, Sylvia. That's right, my friends. CRA will pay you to be a landlord if you apply the strategy properly. And it's called rental cash damming. If you'd like to learn more about rental cash damming, please comment rental cash damming below, and I'll send you a link to book a complimentary call with me. And in this call, we're going to figure out how much money you're losing, how to recoup some of that money back, and how to pay off your primary home mortgage faster. Because the main goal of rental cash downing is to pay off your primary home mortgage faster than your current plan. I just worked out a plan for a client who was on a 30-year amortization. They'll now pay off their mortgage 12 years earlier. They'll pay off their mortgage 18 years. And the key part is it did not cost them extra money out of their pocket. They didn't have to bring out lump sum payments to pay down their mortgage. All we did was we applied the strategy and we rearranged the way that they're using their money. We leveraged their current assets. Thank you so much for listening, my friends. My name is Sylvia Ho, and I'm a financial landlord consultant. I work solely with landlords to help them with financial strategies to help them save money, decrease taxes, and cut the interest paid to the banks. I'm also known as the Cash Downing Queen. Take care, my friends. Bye now.